Look around you, different things born out of truth and passion. Business software, it's our craft, our identity. Thoughtfully engineered, passionately designed to help you transform your business. Zoho, made in India, made for the world.
Watching Times Now, wishing the viewers of Times Now a very happy Dussehra. We have a packed segment here for you. We'll be decoding the excerpts of Mohan Bhagwat's speech at Vijayadashami. So marking 100 years of the RSS. Sangh Chief Mohan Bhagwat's Vijayadashami address was more than a speech. Now this was a strategic roadmap for India's future. From warning against internal divisions to calling out external threats. From stressing on cultural unity to urging economic self-reliance, Mohan Bhagwat laid out the RSS's vision for a strong, stable, self-reliant and a confident India. He made a clear pitch. He said, and I quote, "We respect differences, but anarchy will not be tolerated." The big message on national security was the reference that he made to Operation Sindoor, and also spoke about the Pahalgam terror attack, where Indians were killed after being asked their religion. Mohan Bhagwat said during his speech that the government and armed forces responded decisively, and that Pahalgam revealed who our friends are and to what extent. On the global stage, he also said, India must continue to be friendly to all, but remain increasingly vigilant and capable to defend its citizens and its sovereignty. Here are some highlights from Mohan Bhagwat's speech.
पिछले साल एक दुर्घटना पहलगाम की भी हुई। हमला हुआ सीमा पार के आतंकियों के द्वारा। 26 भारतीय नागरिकों की उनका धर्म पूछकर हत्या की। लेकिन उसके चलते सारे देश में प्रचंड दुख और क्रोध की लहर पैदा हुई। पूरी तैयारी करके सरकार ने, हमारी सेना ने उसका बहुत पुरजोर उत्तर दिया। सारे प्रकरण में हमारी नेतृत्व की दृढ़ता, हमारी सेना का शौर्य, कौशल्य और समाज की एकता और दृढ़ता का एक उत्तम चित्र प्रस्थापित हुआ। और यह भी वह घटना हमको सिखा गई कि यद्यपि हम सबके प्रति मित्र भाव रखते हैं और रखेंगे, फिर भी अपने सुरक्षा के विषय में हमको अधिकाधिक सजग रहना पड़ेगा, समर्थ बनना पड़ेगा।
He also made a reference to tariffs, the tyranny that has been ongoing, and the focus on self-reliance was clear. Mohan Bhagwat, the RSS chief, said, Swadeshi is now a compulsion. He delivered a sharp economic warning, saying that tariff policy adopted by America is being felt by everyone, and that India now cannot be completely dependent on foreign economies. He also urged that the country should accept Swadeshi, should move on the path of self-reliance as a compulsion and not a choice. The pitch was on building domestic capabilities. He further added that this is essential to withstand global economic shocks and also ensure strategic autonomy.
अमेरिका ने जो नई टैरिफ नीति अपनाई, उनके अपने हित के लिए अपनाई होगी, लेकिन उसकी मार तो सभी पर पड़ रही है। इसलिए ये सारा परिदृश्य अथवा ये सारी प्रचलित पद्धति, उस पर हम निर्भर हो जाए ऐसी नहीं है। विश्व में, विश्व का जीवन परस्पर निर्भरता से ही चलता है। राष्ट्रों में आपस में सब प्रकार के संबंध होने पड़ते हैं। अकेला राष्ट्र अलगाव में, आइसोलेशन में जी नहीं सकता। परंतु ये निर्भरता मजबूरी में न बदल जाए, क्योंकि वो कब बदलेगी, कैसे बदलेगी, उसका कोई पता नहीं। और इसलिए इस निर्भरता को मानते हुए, विश्व जीवन की एकता को मानते हुए, हमको इसको मजबूरी न बनाते हुए जीना अगर है तो स्वदेशी और स्वावलंबन का कोई परिणाम नहीं, कोई पर्याय नहीं। हमको आत्मनिर्भर होना पड़ेगा, स्वावलंबी जीवन जीना पड़ेगा, स्वदेशी का उपयोग करना पड़ेगा और फिर भी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय संबंधों का सब प्रकार के, राजनयिक हो, आर्थिक हो, व्यापारिक हो, इन सबका जतन हमको करना पड़ेगा। लेकिन उसमें मजबूरी नहीं होगी, हमारी अपनी इच्छा होगी, हमारा अपना सद्भाव होगा, ऐसा हमको बनना पड़ेगा।
Joining us this morning are Tushar Gupta, political analyst, and also Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist. Wishing both of you a very happy Dussehra. Pragya, my colleague, is also with us. Pragya, wishing you a happy Dussehra. And today, as we decode the highlights of Mohan Bhagwat's speech, we are yet to play out that soundbite, but the biggest talking point at this moment is the message that he gave out on Hindu dharma. Tell our viewers about that pitch that was made by Mohan Bhagwat about the Hindu dharma.
Well, happy Dussehra to you too. But Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, RSS chief, spoke at length about the contemporary issues, the prevailing condition, global and at the home front as well. In fact, he spoke about Hindu dharma and not in terms of religion, but in terms of patriotism, in terms of unity, in terms of what we owe to the nation, in terms of our responsibility as a citizen. While we expect so much from the government, it is our duty also to give the same to the government as well, to give the same support to the government. So it is about the Rashtra Dharma. When he spoke about dharma, it has nothing to do with the religion. He specified and he said that this is about our responsibilities and our accountabilities and how we need to behave in a society and how we need to ensure that our nation remains sovereign and the integrity is also is there very much in the country. When we speak about that, there are 5 pillars that he spoke about. It also include environment. It also include the family as a unit. It also include samajik samrasta. And a lot of things that he spoke about. It also the underlining theme is that the society, fabric of the society should be intact. Right. And when we are united, there will be no external force that can damage us. In fact, the threat and the attack that is coming from the external forces outside India and also using some of the internal enemies of the country as well is a focal point as well. Absolutely. There are situations that we had seen in Nepal, we had seen in Bangladesh, and he spoke at length about that this is not a solution. When you are dissatisfied, violence cannot be a means to achieve that. You have to look to the solution within the constitutional forces, and also you cannot take law in its own hand. Absolutely. So this is also a larger message to the younger generation. But he also said, I'm very happy that the younger generation in the country is patriotic. Right. And this is a very big statement coming from Mr. Mohan Bhagwat on centenary year. So if one could talk about the biggest takeaway would be the message of unity and the pitch of patriotism, self-reliance, and also urging caution on not allowing unrest and anarchy to break our unity. Before I come across to both Mr. Tushar Gupta and Shekhar Iyer, let's play out that excerpt from Mr. Mohan Bhagwat's speech where he spoke about what is happening in our neighboring countries, where he also spoke about how, Naxalism. He spoke about the scourge of Naxalism and then the Hindu Rashtra pitch. Let's play out a few of those excerpts.
ऐसे हिंसक परिवर्तनों से उद्देश्य नहीं प्राप्त होता है, उल्टा इस अराजकता की स्थिति में देश के बाहर की स्वार्थी ताकतों को अपने खेल खेलने का मौका मिलता है। और इसलिए हमारे पड़ोसी देशों में जो उथल पुथल हो रही, ये हमारे ही देश है, वे हमसे दूर नहीं है। कुछ वर्ष पूर्व भारत ही थे, हमारे अपने हैं। उनमें इस प्रकार की अस्थिरता उत्पन्न होना, ये हमारे लिए, हम केवल उनके पड़ोसी है इसलिए नहीं, वो सब हमारे अपने देश है। इसलिए चिंता का विषय है, हितरक्षण से भी ज्यादा ये जो हमारा आत्मीयता का संबंध है, अपनेपन का संबंध है, उसके चलते ये चिंता होती है।
Tushar, I would like to get your comments on how you look at the larger messaging that was made by Mr. Mohan Bhagwat in his Vijayadashami address. The speech had many takeaways, but when he says a strong, Hindu dharma will mean a strong nation, and the message on Hindu dharma, how do you analyze that aspect of his speech?
Is that question for me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I think one of the phrases that stood out for me in the speech was when he cited B.R. Ambedkar saying that grammar of anarchy, that must be avoided. It's very easy to idolize what's going on in Nepal and Bangladesh and even Pakistan for that matter. A lot of our political leaders in the opposition often idolize what's going on in Nepal, and they cite the Gen Z protest and all that. But I think Mohan Bhagwat made a very important point. Every time such anarchy is demonstrated, it only gives an opportunity for the external forces to come in and play their own game. This is a very, very important message. Citing the grammar of anarchy, as B.R. Ambedkar rightly put it, that is very important. Number two, he says about the Hindu society being united. One thing that stood out for me, and RSS has been talking about this for a while, is about nuclear families. उन्होंने कहा कि परिवार अब कटते जा रहे, छोटे होते जा रहे, and that is also something we have to start factoring in for the long term. I think that's a very, very important point we don't often talk about, the breaking down of the Hindu society as a whole, and what kind of implications will it have on our civilization, on the sustainability of our civilization, on the age of our civilization. I think that was very important. Number three, he spoke about self-reliance. And that part was very, very important. He said that the dependency shouldn't become sort of a compromise or sort of something that is used against us as a leverage when it comes to diplomatic negotiations. I think this is what the Prime Minister has also been pushing for. Right. Self-reliance in an interconnected world where India deals with every other country on its own terms and conditions. Yes. So, there are a lot of undertones to what Mohan Bhagwat said, a lot of political undertones as well to what he said. Right. And I think they all must be factored in.
Absolutely. But Mr. Iyer, we won't be surprised if the opposition immediately jumps in to raise a hue and cry about Mr. Mohan Bhagwat's messaging on Hindu dharma and the unity in the Hindu community. They will obviously point at communal undertones, and they will once again raise the pitch against the RSS. How do you analyze the key aspects or the key takeaways of Mohan Bhagwat's larger message today?
For the umpteenth time, Mohan Bhagwat ji has very clearly defined what the RSS means by Hindu Rashtra. That Hindu Rashtra is not a nation state, because India is not a nation state on religious lines. It is not a theocratic concept. What he said was, it is a nation on the basis of culture, the cultural nation. It is not a political nation on the basis of a religion, like Pakistan is, or some of the Muslim countries are. Rather, this is about the Hindu-ness or the Hindu-ness as seen in this land, the Bharatavarsha, as it has been called from ancient times. So the basic thing he says is, look, this has to be preserved. And this has to be preserved, protected, and further encouraged and inculcated. That is why the question of, Vyakti ki parivartan, it starts with individual character building. From individual character building, you move on to society's character building. In that process, you strengthen the family values, the traditional values. And when the society is strengthened on the basis of the cultural traditions that have been nurtured in this land, from that flows what is called a strong nation. A nation that is founded on values.
Yes.
And that is how this country has been. Yes. That is why, despite the breakdown of families all over, particularly in the West, we still have strong family bonds.
Right.
We still have what is nurtured as the caring parenthood.
Right.
Responsible and responsibility towards the parents also. These are something very, very inherent to this land. And this has happened because we have resisted those ideas that were once considered fashionable. And today, even the West is realizing how the breakdown of those values have led to actually a social chaos.
Yes.
And that social chaos is also spilling over to their political arena.
Yes. And so that is why
character building is more important.
Character building, nation building, the focus on being independent in terms of economically independent, the pitch on self-reliance, and then the larger message on the civilizational idea of India. So viewers, the RSS chief said that the country is not merely a nation state which is bound by temporary political borders. He added that states may come and go, but the nation always remains. He further said that India is a Hindu Rashtra, a civilizational entity that transcends politics. For that, unity will always survive. He also said that the Hindu society must remain strong, must remain cohesive. He further stressed that the society should be free from the concept of us and them. Here's that excerpt of Mohan Bhagwat on Hindu Dharma and Hindu Rashtra.
विविधताओं के संपूर्ण स्वीकार और सम्मान के साथ हम सबको एक माल में मिलाने वाली यह भारतीय संस्कृति, यह राष्ट्रीयता है, इसको हम हिंदू राष्ट्रीयता कहते हैं। यही हमारे लिए हिंदू राष्ट्रीयता है। किसी को हिंदू शब्द से आपत्ति है, वो हिंदवी कहे, भारतीय कहे, आर्य कहे, जो कुछ है, ये सारे समानार्थी शब्द है, हम लोग जानते हैं। परंतु इस राष्ट्रीयता का स्पष्ट स्वरूप निर्देशित करने वाला एक ही शब्द हमको मिलता है, वो है हिंदू। वो कोई राज्य पर आधारित कल्पना है। हमारा राष्ट्र राज्य पर आधारित कभी रहा नहीं। हमारे यहां नेशन स्टेट की कल्पना नहीं है। हमारी ये संस्कृति राष्ट्र को बनाती है। राज्य आते जाते रहते हैं। राष्ट्र निरंतर विद्यमान रहा है। सनातन काल से अब तक ये हमारा प्राचीन हिंदू राष्ट्र है। इस अर्थ में हिंदू राष्ट्र है।
And that message by Mohan Bhagwat has triggered sharp reactions from the opposition. It's time for us to take a short break. I want both our guests to stay with us. We'll be back and we'll get you all the latest political reactions on Mohan Bhagwat's loaded message this Dashera. Taking a short break.